Welcome to the Season 6 Hisui Guide. This will be for both newcomers to understand what she does and experienced players looking for tips and tricks to get the most out of the character. Hisui is a high skill cap bruiser with a lot of quirks that force her into interesting builds. I'm your host Jin, and to start us off, I'll be handing it off to my co-host.
I'm co-host Jigna, and here's a quick rundown of the abilities. Her passive, a Sword's Memory, makes her attack speed fixed, going up 0.05 per weapon mastery level, and also converts attack speed into AP at a 1% to 0.15% ratio. The second part is after using a skill, Hisui will gain a stack and can get up to 2 stacks at max. Auto-attacking will consume 1 stack to give her a movement speed boost and reduce the cooldowns of her Q and E.
Adjacent to the passive is her basic 3 skills, and how they work, they all scale off Hisui's attack speed. Up to a certain point on the screen is the attack speed minimum per level you need to cap out the character's cooldowns, casting time, and max W3 hits, with a total of 8. The catch to this being, Hisui's basic abilities do not work with CDR, making it mostly a dead stat on Hisui.
Hisui's Q, Rengeki, is a 2-hit skill. The first part is a small AoE circle around Hisui, followed by a Sword Slash in front of her. The Sword Slash slows targets and is a good spammable skill for stacks.
W, Iaido Strike. It has no cooldown, rather it is 3 skills in 1 based on the number of skills you have hit, not including W. Hitting 1 skill gives you W1, Clear Cut, another 2-hit skill that deals max health damage, slows, and gives a small shield.
Having 2 stacks on her W gives Hisui access to Flash Cut. Flash Cut is a longer dash with a slight delay that also jumps walls. The ability will stop the dash short if you hit a target with it and stop behind the furthest target hit, while also knocking up the furthest target hit for 0.25 seconds. It's a good movement option, but it's the most niche in its usage. It's good for escaping and also backline access, but it has relatively low damage compared to the rest of her kit, and while spamming W2 is fun for mobility, it's not very good for doing damage and is kind of a bait and not really the skill that you should be using all that much.
For hitting 3 skills, you get W3, Nichiren Cut. An incredibly strong skill as mentioned earlier, its small hits scale from 4 to 8 based on attack speed. While using this ability, Hisui is untargetable and ending it with a large slash, healing for 100% of the damage dealt by the skill.
Hisui's E, Getsurin Slash, is a very unique dash as she first travels backwards, then dashes forwards for a total of 4 net meters traveled during the dash. Both the back step and the forward step, Hisui slashes, giving you multiple opportunities to get stacks. The dash is not able to be interrupted and can be used to buffer CC. Hisui also disappears, making it a bit harder for enemies to track her, and with its low cooldown, it's the main way to stick on to players, assuming you are utilizing her passive cooldown as well.
R1, Mono Jinzao, gives Hisui bonus attack range and bonus damage on each auto attack and skill used against a target. R1's animation can be hidden in your E for an extra surprise factor.
The second cast of Hisui's ult is Tsubame Geishi and can be used at any time during the 15 seconds her ult is active. The hitbox has a sour and sweet spot. The ult also goes off after a delay, needing to be channeled for a second before the sweet spot hits. However, while the ult is channeling, in both the sour and sweet spots, enemies will constantly be slashed that also slows the targets. After the channel is completely finished, the sweet spot gets hit for true damage that also executes targets under 10% HP. While the skill does execute low targets, the damage it deals is the same regardless of how high on HP they are and can be used well near the opening of fights. Additionally, this skill gives a W stack and can be used for that purpose as well.
Lastly, Parry, a very good defensive weapon skill, is treated as a basic ability, giving you stacks of passive working with R and giving a stack to your W. However, its cooldown is not reduced by your passive stacks.
Hisui has a lot of combos, but we will be covering mainly 3 with some extensions and other starting points. It is also worth noting the character is pretty freeform and also situationally dependent, so these combos should not be used in every situation. They are just basic combos you'll be doing often.
The first combo is the sustain combo, also known as W1 spam, and a must learn if you want to succeed on this character. As the name implies, you look to get as many W1 procs as possible for shields and tank shred. The basic rotation is E, auto attack, W, auto attack, Q, auto attack, W, auto attack. This can be looped with good passive management, basically, infinitely. This is your best tool to 1v1 tanks and other bruisers as it keeps you healthy while you whittle away their health bars.
Hisui's next combo is the burst combo. First you E and hide your R1 animation by pressing it right after Eing. Then you auto attack, Q, D, or D, Q, auto attack. If you're still healthy, you can then W3 and look to execute someone with R2. To extend this combo, simply E, Q, W3 after your RQ. W3 with no parry. The next combo forgoes the R execute to save parry. E, R, auto attack, Q, R, auto attack, W3. From here, you can set up into other combos such as W1 spam or play for an extension of E, auto attack, Q, D, auto attack, W3.
Adjacent to combos is pre-stacking, where you get a certain stack number before starting a fight to open up a new combo route, mainly used to get stacks off animals before going in.
With W2 stacked up, just walking up now is a real threat and can open you up to a much more aggressive W3 combo, being E, R, W3, auto attack, Q, D, R2, W3. It's a very aggressive strong combo that you can't normally perform without pre-stacking. You're not only limited to a fast W3, although you can look to enter with your W2 if you find a good opportunity, using D, Q, auto attack, E, auto attack, W3 for a middle ground play. You can also use W2, E, R onto a backline, then auto attack, Q, R, W3, or W2 through the tank, then E back to your original spot, auto attack, Q, auto attack, W2 away, or look to D, W3. All from just one pre-stack, it opens up a lot of options for entry and setting up the fight that you cannot normally do.
Next, augments. Hisui has two main augments rising to the surface, being Vampiric Bloodline and Bitter Retribution. Both have their strengths, with Vamp being better for W1 spam, and Bitter being more forgiving and playing better for W3 extensions as 4.
Hisui's sub-augments mainly looks for AP damage increases or extra tank stats, so she really likes blue and red trees the most, being sub-augments such as Embolden, Cavalcade, Frenzy, Contempt for the Weak, Anima Reaper, while if you do want Purple Tree, Open Wounds, Stopping Power, and Power Crescendo are other notable options.
Items. Hisui is a very flexible character. She can use any AP items except for crit items because she has 0% basic attack amp, leading her autos to feel like a wet noodle. Even then, there are some good and notable items Hisui likes. For purples, Hisui likes Mono Jinzao for her sword. For chess pieces, she likes Chang Pao, or Turnout Coat. In the hat slot, Welding Helmet or Cowboy Hat. In the arm slot, Plasma Arc or Music Box. And then, in the shoe slot, she really only likes white, rhinos, and maverick runners.
For gold items, Hisui usually needs less attack speed as the game goes on, usually only running her weapon, and 1 to 2 more attack speed items, with one of them being lesser attack speed items, such as Blue Flames. Common gold items are Titan's Armor, Aodai, Omerta, Star of the Wilds, Blue Flames, Helix, Auto Arms, and Blade Boots. Hisui also has some more off-meta niche options that can be used and can see success, they are just typically not used. These options are Wisdom Robes, Halo, Smart Glasses, Myth Shield, Myth Quiver, Myth Boots, Galaxy Steps, and Hermes.
Hisui can use a lot of the VF items, with some even being her best in slot. However, not all of them are equal. Perfect items are VF items that are strong without any wasted stats. These are Red Shoes, Blood Crown, Blood Ripper, and Burgundy 47. There is one item that is the best damage-wise, but is not perfect, which is Dan's Leaf. Especially when upgrading from Mono Jinzao, it's an incredibly strong spike. However, Blood Crown and Red Shoes, when you have Aurora Longsword, are higher value / damage, so when capped out, it's something to note. However, you should never rush Aurora Longsword, so Dan's Leaf is generally your best blood upgrade. Okay, and the last thing we have for you today is 2 builds to try out. One being a vamp build, ID 40238, and the bitter build ID being 40239. And with that, good luck picking up Hisui.